Alrighty, the finale of Miss Marvel has now dropped on Disney+. So let's talk about all there is to say about it. So yes, that is a spoiler warning. If you have not watched this entire season of Miss Marvel on Disney Plus yet and you plan on it, then you should not watch this video because I will be talking about what happens in this finale in detail. If you have watched the finale or you don't care, stick around if you want. Alright, let's do it. Let's talk about this sixth and final episode of Miss Marvel titled No Normal. So we left off in the penultimate episode. Kamran got powers somehow from his mother, Najma. He found Bruno at Circle Q, but it turns out they were tracked by the DODC, so they got ambushed. We see in this finale that Kamran can't really control his new powers. He's not used to it, I guess, which makes sense. And I mean, even a little later on, when he has that power outburst, he says that he feels like he's being crushed from the inside out. So I was like, is he dying or something? I don't know what Najma did. And it's never really explained in this finale, so I'm still not sure. He seems to be in pain, but that's never really resolved. I don't know, maybe they're saving it for another season or something? Who knows? So yeah, the Department of Damage Control, they're the final bad guys in the show. And they're pretty much the new SHIELD, or SWORD, or something. They want to take these enhanced individuals in, they want to examine them, investigate them, probably weaponize them. Yeah, they're pretty much the new SHIELD. Or at least that's what I got out of this scene. So over the course of the series, we've been seeing the building blocks of what will eventually become Miss Marvel's superhero outfit. We got the mask made by Bruno, we got the scarf from Red Dagger, and now the final and most important piece, the actual outfit. Again, I forget what the thing is called, but it's given to Kamala by her mother. I actually really like this scene because this is really like Muniba's growth. She now trusts her daughter to go out and be a superhero. I really like that. This show had a really good character arc for Muniba. Honestly, that's probably one of the strongest things in the show. So props to that. And so we finally have Miss Marvel in her Miss Marvel outfit. She's going throughout the city. And this is supposed to be like the, oh my god, this is like the big payoff moment. But again, her powers being just different than they are in most Marvel lore. I was kind of double-sided watching it. I was like, alright, it looks cool. But it's just different than what I originally anticipated when this show was first announced. Doesn't change the fact though that when she comes down and she meets up with Bruno and Kamran, I was like, that's cool. Sue me, I thought it was neat. We do have some pretty cool Miss Marvel action later on in this episode, I'll get to it. So Kamala and her friends, they all meet up at the high school. So it's Kamala, Bruno, Kamran, Nakia. Zoe Zimmer shows up out of nowhere. And since this character didn't have a whole lot of screen time in this show, I don't care about her too much. But I do still appreciate the fact that she's not a bully, she's just Miss Popularity. And since Kamala saved her life in the first episode, she feels like she owes her, so she's gonna help out. I actually really like that. It's a small thing, but I still like it. And Kamala's brother, Amir, is there too. He kind of shows up out of nowhere as well. What I think is really interesting is this DODC agent, Deaver. Apparently she has some kind of beef with Kamala. I don't know what it is, but we see Cleary, the guy from No Way Home. He's like, fall back, you're in public. If you do anything bad, you're gonna smear our name. Which makes sense, and you would think Deaver would oblige. But no, she actually goes ahead with the mission. I was like, why? What's her beef? I don't know. Maybe she's a Skrull or a Kree or something. I don't know if we'll ever find out. But even right there, when she disobeys his orders, I was like, okay, so she's gonna get fired in the end. She'll be defeated. I knew at that point. And I'll admit, when the DODC soldiers are going in there, and the kids are fighting them off with high school stuff like chemicals and softballs, I was like, yeah, alright, this feels a little Disney Channel. It just felt weird, like these soldiers have guns. How are they losing like Home Alone style? I just don't think it would realistically go down like that. But I do like that Kamran kind of gets a change of faith. After Kamala tells him what really happened to his mother, he's suddenly like, no, my mother was right. She was just trying to protect our home. And so he becomes something of an anti-hero. Yeah, he doesn't go full villain. The two of them don't have a big fight against each other or anything. But I guess he just has a change in mindset. The big stuff happens when they're outside and they get nailed by that sonic blast gun that we've seen since the Incredible Hulk movie. And so Kamala's on the ground, and it took me a second, but I was like, oh, here it comes. And she goes, "Embiggen." And I was like, no, you're supposed to like yell it out. It's supposed to be this powerful moment. She's supposed to be like, "Embiggen." And I'll be honest, she comes out all embiggened, and my first reaction was, okay. I mean, it's fine. It's kind of cool. What, she was on stilts filming this or something? Honestly speaking, I felt like it could have been cooler. In fact, I'll actually say the Avengers game did it better. The final boss fight in that game, the big climax, Kamala goes, "Embiggen," and she turns huge, and it's this big, like, one-on-one Titan fight with the Sentry. That was awesome. Yeah, just comparatively speaking, I feel like that video game did the embiggen better than this live action show. Although I did like when Kamala caught that tank. That was really cool. Whenever she actually stretches out her limbs in the series, I thought it was great. Because again, that's what Kamala's powers are, more or less, in the lore. So when she stopped that tank from falling on the crowd by stretching out her arms and you see the hands are all huge, that was awesome. I was like, yeah, there's Miss Marvel. That was really cool to see. That was probably the best part of the episode, action-wise. Because that felt really Miss Marvel to me. Again, I do think it is really cool seeing Miss Marvel going around and doing all she can do with the hard light, making shields and the platforms that she runs on. Objectively speaking, if I didn't know like anything about the lore she comes from, I'd be like, yeah, this is awesome. But since I do, I just have to make that comparison in my head. I can't help it. And what can I say? I guess it's still gonna take me some getting used to. I don't hate it, I don't love it, I guess I'm kind of neutral as of now. And so this big action scene ends with Kamala snapping Kamran out of his douchiness by basically redeeming Najma, telling him about the sacrifice she made for him. You know, how she closed the portal. Good stuff. And then Kamala punches a hole in the ground. I guess that'll go all the way to the harbor where Kamran can escape. God knows how that actually worked. Yeah, I do kind of call BS on that. But whatever. And of course, Deaver gets canned. So alright, we have victory? Good for us. And so now we come to the epilogue. Few good things here actually. First of all, it shows that Miss Marvel has now become known as Jersey City's new superhero. Which is cool, I guess she's now kind of like the Spider-Man of Jersey City. No one knows her identity, except the people she cares about, which I guess she has over Spider-Man at this point. Then we have the scene where Kamala is talking with her dad on the roof, and this is where we actually finally get the name drop, since I guess the name Kamala loosely translates to the word Marvel in Urdu. So Yusuf says, "You have always been our little Miss Marvel." I was like, I love that. I do love the fact that the image of Miss Marvel was created by everyone that Kamala feels close to. Bruno with the mask, the red dagger with the scarf, the outfit from her mother, the name from her father. That's great. And so that's where the show ends. Miss Marvel has now been established as another superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh, but yeah, don't worry. Of course I'm gonna talk about the big shockers at the end. The penultimate scene, where Bruno's like, yeah, I did some more data analysis, and there's something off about your genetics. Like a mutation. And then we hear a little bit of that X-Men 97 theme. I was like, huh? So what? Wait a minute. What? Okay, so you're making Kamala Khan a mutant now instead of an Inhuman? Cause yeah, mutants, that's X-Men stuff. I mean, I guess this is the way that Marvel Studios is somehow gonna introduce mutants to the main MCU. I mean, sure, we had Professor X in Multiverse of Madness, but that was just a cameo and it was another universe. This is our main universe, and I guess we have our first mutant with Kamala Khan, which is yet another big change from the lore. I don't know where they're gonna take this, how they're gonna explain it. I'm curious about it, of course, for sure. They must have a plan of some sort. But then that last scene, the mid-credits scene, Kamala's in her room and all of a sudden the bangle starts glowing. And we see her, it looks like she apparates out of view. And all of a sudden Captain Marvel shows up, Brie Larson. And at first I was like, oh, okay, so now Miss Marvel is gonna get the power she has in the lore. Because I remember in like the earlier comics, she could transform as part of her skin-stretching powers. So I was like, alright, now she has those powers. That's cool. I guess now that'll get the fans to stop complaining about it. But then I went online and saw some comments that people said about this scene, and some people are saying that maybe this isn't her transforming, but maybe that's actually Carol Danvers. Maybe they actually like swap places in the universe or something. To which I was like, maybe that's possible. I don't know how that could have happened, but I'm open to it. Although I am inclined to think that it's actually a transformation, since her body right here appears to be a little smaller than Captain Marvel's is, or at least that's how it looks to me. So for now, I feel like this is a transformation. I don't know for sure though. Whatever it is set up for The Marvels, that team-up movie coming out in about a year from now, that's gonna feature Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau as a trio. I really can't wait for that. That still sounds so awesome to me. So if for nothing else, that post-credits scene got me really excited for it. And that ain't nothing. So, in conclusion, Miss Marvel, I enjoyed it. It did slow down a lot in the middle, when it provided the backstory of Kamala's powers and the whole Pakistani culture thing. Again, I did appreciate seeing it, but I can't deny that it really did start to become a drag around that point. But then it picked up at the end and it did deliver us something pretty cool. I do love the characters, I do like the visual effects, I love the action. I thought the action was actually really good in this show, except for that one shaky cam chase scene. I love the music, Laura Cartman's score was really good. All around, solid show. Not bad. And I really can't wait to see Miss Marvel again in The Marvels. That's gonna be sweet. So, the season finale of Miss Marvel titled No Normal. Have you watched it yet? What are your thoughts on it? What are your theories about the Marvels and Kamala Khan being a mutant? What do you think the implications are here? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!